Yeah, I love this new setup, I'll tell you that. Let me get squared away over here. What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about what actually drives a man to commit. Now, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. I love you forever, along with the bell notification so you get my videos right away. So, I was thinking, you know, on making this video. Obviously I'm making it, but I do think it could get controversial, so I'm not going to try to get controversial with it. But I know how women are. Oh, I need his approval. Oh, why am I always chasing? You're a sexist. Modern feminism says otherwise. I don't fucking know. Women, you get what I'm saying, okay? So, what are guys looking for? What do guys deem important enough to commit to? And instead of talking about a specific trait, I want to give you an insight on how guys think. Gotcha, bitch. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere. You in the fucking picture now. I want to give you the same thing that Poe gives me every single day. Now, scram, I'll give you your cookies later. The same thing Poe gives me every day, okay? And that's true love. Now, this is coming from an article or a comment or forum section I read on Reddit, right? I should link it, but I'm not going to. I'm too lazy, despite all the editing, okay? I read this excerpt at the top that said, guys, for all of you who are taken, this kid's asking the question, for all of you who are taken in happy, healthy relationships, what makes you so sure about this girl when you are attracted to these other women and get along with these other women and the variety of things out there? What made you commit to this girl? And everyone was giving their answers. Okay, everyone was going back and forth, and again, it was getting controversial on what's important, what isn't important, and their the differences people had on these traits, or how they would rate the traits. Some people think looks are really important. Some people think personality is more important. But then one guy stood up. I wish it was me, because I do think this. Okay, and he started off a long paragraph dogging his wife. Basically, he says, my wife isn't the most beautiful woman I have ever been with. My wife isn't the funniest person I have been with. My wife doesn't give the best blowjobs I have ever had. My wife isn't the best in bed. My wife isn't the most caring person I have ever been, I have ever spent time with. My wife isn't the most patient. And he goes on and on and on. He says, however, she is the perfect balance of all these things, and that's very hard to find. He says that, I've been with really good-looking women, but they're bitches, or they're as boring as as watching paint dry. He says, I've been with people with really great personalities, but they're hard to look at. I've been with women who are very smart and who have very good conversations, but they're very opinionated on certain things and not open-minded. And and this rings home for me for I could get into one reason later on. But here's the thing. I always tell women, I talk about this in my course all the time, it comes down to assets and versus liabilities. You don't have to be the best at something, right? But you have to balance out, because we'll take looks. Looks are just a very easy concept to talk about. You don't have to be a 10. But if you're not ugly, again, this is where it gets controversial, I'm not going to try to get into it, but if you're not ugly and you're actually cute and you have all these other traits such as a great personality, you're patient, you're driven, you're motivated, you're a team player, you're a good communicator, and things like that, this isn't going to be held against you, right? This is not going to be held against you. At the same time, if you're a good-looking girl and you have all these things, and your personality is something that I could get on board with. You're not the, oh my God, it's not like we have everything in common 100%. We're like soulmates, two peas in the pot. We're not that, but at the same time, you're not so boring that I want to fucking blow my brains out. and you have all these other traits, it's seen as an asset. Guys like balance. You don't have to be the best at anything. Guys like balance. Now, I'm going to contradict myself here a little bit because I think there has to be a standard within those things. Okay, it's not just there has to be a standard with them, and that's where I kind of stand when I'm looking for somebody. Okay, I'm not looking for a 10 in every category. That's just unrealistic. However, I talk about the categories men put you in: the friend zone, the friends with benefits, and girlfriend material. Girlfriend material is when you have everything going for you. Basically the shit I just said. Friends with benefits is if you have the physical aspect but not the other things. That's aside, putting aside the fact that he might have psychological issues, just got out of a relationship, can't emotionally love or open up, or he's just not ready for something more serious. Putting all that aside, okay? However, I always talk about the subcategory within friends with benefits, which is you do have the other things, like you are attractive, you are awesome and fun and cool and nice to hang out with, but not enough though for me to actually commit and give up all these other women to just date you, especially if I'm already getting the benefits from you. So I do contradict myself a little bit there. I understand, and I know this. Again, women are going to come at me and say, well, why am I the one having to prove myself to him? You don't. Who gives a shit? Walk away. But you won't though. Or a lot of women don't, and that's why they're stuck in this. I don't mean to sound condescending. I'm talking to a lot of clients, and they're like, well, why am I the one chasing? Why? Because you're the one who values the guy. He doesn't owe you anything. You're not entitled to him chasing you. If his version of happiness doesn't have you in it, then suck it up and move on. I mean, be happy for him. If you truly care for him, you'd be happy for him. If it doesn't have, if his version of happiness doesn't have you in it, that is what it is. But if you value his opinion and you're willing not to let go, then yeah, you're going to chase. Sex doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter when it comes to that kind of stuff. Attraction is just attraction. I don't care if it's girl on girl, boy on boy, dog on boy, girl on dog, whatever, cats. If the dog doesn't like you and it doesn't want to get petted, no matter how much you want to pet the dog, leave the dog alone, okay? Or it's going to bite your ass. So don't think of it about why am I the one chasing him? Why? It comes down to value. If you're worth chasing in my eyes, I'm going to chase. And of course, that is dictated by how often you actually give that up too. Like I said, if you're too abundant, you're too eager, you're too interested, he's going to take it for granted and probably not to chase. But that's not what this video is about. It is about balance. Listen, ladies, and balance is subjective to the person. I care about looks because I'm a guy. But at the same time, I care a lot about personality. I care a lot about motivation. I care a lot about drive. I care a lot about a woman with a passion and goals, and someone who can sit in my corner and be very patient with me because I'm personally an impatient person, and we can build an empire together and a good family who I think would be a good mother. That's very important. All that stuff's very important to me. She doesn't have to be the best in any category, but she has to be balanced, some things more than others based on what I'm looking for, what fits me perfectly, and vice versa. You should be looking at men this way also. You should not be chasing a man just because you like him. Does he fit your description? Does he fit your lifestyle? Does he fit what you're actually looking for? Sadly, both sexes, when they're not in the right frame of mind, they're chasing because out of, hey, get down. They're chasing out of fear, insecurity, trying to fill a void, afraid of being alone, can't be happy unless they're in a relationship. They have a complex because of things that happened with men in their past. They need to feel loved and desired and wanted, and that's their version of happiness or success. That's not good, okay? You need to go after a man who can give you what you want, not just because you like them, but because, in my opinion, I think you're effing worth it. Okay, so that being said, ladies, I love you. Take care and peace.